We ran a session of All for One Regime Diabolique today in our Lights and Darkness campaign. The game master this time was Ivan, host of the Ivan Mike 1968 YouTube channel. The players were Francois Letarte, the host of JDRD30, and myself. So the characters involved in this, I guess now you could say, ongoing campaign were my character, Martin, and Francois's character, who goes under the name of Briscourt, Heartbreaker, or Alphonse. But the session didn't actually open with us, which was fun. In the game, one of the conceits is that you have lackeys, and these lackeys can be portrayed by other players. So this time, we portrayed each other's lackeys in an opening scene, kind of like a before credits scene, where the main characters are not there, but characters that you know and care about are in peril. So we began in peril. It's always good to start in peril. And this helped to, functionally, this helped to reduce some of the exposition which was needed to get this particular episode off the ground. Now, why do I say that? Well, we are, as we've noted in earlier recap videos, we've been weaving quite a web by working together and by working separately. And in many ways, I think Ivan was trying to bring some of those threads, which are in many cases connected, trying to bring them out into the open so that it's pretty clear who knows what and what isn't known, and help the characters find the voice to express and the desire to implement their goals. And it worked pretty well. Through this model, we were able to gain access to overhearing a conversation, which is unlikely to have ever taken place in the presence of our characters, and then be able to relay that information to ourselves, which was fun. What did we remember? What did we leave out? What did we de-emphasize? And that sort of thing. So that actually serves as the backdrop. The primary event, the thing that our characters were ordered to do, was punishment, basically, and paying back a favor. So, because of past events, the character of Briscourt is somewhat on the outs and has earned himself a bad reputation. People now know some of what he did, and some of what he did has been put in a bad light in the rumor mill of Paris. But that doesn't change the fact that he's still a very charming devil. And so he and Martin have been assigned to day after day after day after day after day of guard duty. And to make this guard duty even more tedious, they have been assigned a group of not quite up to snuff musketeers to push that final step into proper form. So it's a pretty funny situation to consider, the not exactly uptight, but you could definitely say rigid character that I'm playing, and the larger-than-life sensationalist character that Francois is playing. Putting them together and putting them in charge of a bunch of new recruits is hilarious. But the way it was structured is that Briscourt is being set up as the leader of men, but then Martin is being put as supervisor over him. So he's here to make sure the recruits do what they're supposed to do, and Martin is there to make sure that he does what he's supposed to do. So we got to explore musketeer culture, we got to explore the attitude of a musketeer, and we got to talk about some old mysteries related to the King's Palace. So that was all pretty helpful and very entertaining. There are a lot of golden moments, and I'm not going to spoil any of them, but I will say, if you're going to watch any of these actual play events for the events or for the characters, this is one of the ones to watch. So it was called A Family Divided, but you'll have to decide if it was actually about that. Session ran only about 90 minutes. It took us a little bit of time to get going as we had some things to talk about. And we did not have our discussion about experience points or resource points or any of that, or who's going to run the next session at the end. And we've been dealing with that on our own. But in terms of advancing things, it's definitely clarified a lot of what Martin's situation is, the precarious situation he is in, with the various forces who would seek to at least make use of his family or fill the power vacuum that's been left by the last few episodes, the things that have been going on, the people that have been dying in the foreground and in the background. There's a lot going on, and now there are more and more and stronger hints that some of this ties directly to the Cardinal. And this is food for thought. So, will Alphonse, will Briscourt be able to deal with his bad reputation? Will he be able to climb over it in his search for connection, his search for that upper echelon of society and the wonderful bounty and enjoyments that await him there, or not? And will Martin be able to survive long enough to find a tactical position good enough, to find a social position strong enough that he can undo the damage of the past? It's getting very satisfying. Anyway, that's it for my recap and reflection. It's short, but then so is the session. I hope you do watch this one. I haven't laughed so hard in ages.